Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, welcome back to another episode of Books and Buds, where we discuss two of the greatest things on earth, books and buds. Surrounded by buds today. So briefly, before I get into this video, I just want to mention a comment that one of my viewers left for me. Beginning of every video, I say, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. I'm just trying to be all-inclusive, because, I don't want to offend anybody. I want people to click on my channel and have a good time and feel that they're welcome. But you can't please everybody. This one viewer, he said, don't give into that nonsense. You got a good channel. So he was very complimentary, but at the same time, he was a little upset with me for using the in-between thing. And it's like, you can't please everybody. Even though you try, you can't please everybody. And the same thing with writing, because I'm a writer, and some people love me, some people think I'm boring, because I like to write literary fiction. It's the same thing with cannabis. Some people love the product you're selling, and then 1 out of 10 people might not like it very much and leave you a bad review on Weed Maps or something. It's just the way life is. You got to let it roll off your shoulders, and hey, that's the way it is. So, also, before I get into the book today, because as you've probably seen by the title of the video, we're going to be covering Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere. Fantastic book. It was my first book by this writer, and I loved it, and I'll tell you all about it in a minute, but I also want to briefly mention my buddy, Red's Meds. These guys have been pretty darn good to us over here at Burning Bush. They run out of Biddeford, southern Maine, so if you're ever in that area, look them up on Weed Maps. You'll be able to find some of our product on there too. They sell our sour diesel. It's their favorite from us, and they really like to carry it. Their customers like it just as well as our customers. We're not really competing against each other because they're in southern Maine and we're in middle Maine, so no big deal. So, Red's Meds, wonderful company. Okay, everybody, let's get into the book, Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. So, I've been hearing a lot of this guy over the years, just a ton. Ever since that movie Coraline came out, and I've just been hearing so much about it, and I've been hearing writer's tips. I even covered something that he had written, an article he wrote on a previous channel, but I never read an actual book, and I decided to give this one a chance. I found it for $2, and I was like, Neil Gaiman, I keep hearing so much about him. And boy, can I ever tell why. It was just so fantastic. See, he's a British writer, and there's something about British writers I just love. They have this certain wit and humor to them. It's just unbelievable. People like Douglas Adams, there's no comparing to his writing. Terry Pratchett, who I understand this guy was good friends with. Even J.K. Rowling, in her earlier Harry Potter's books. It was just really cute, really witty, and, I found myself laughing out loud a few times while reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, because there was just some hilarious scenes in there, And there's just something about British writers I just absolutely love. Not all of them are like that. Like Jane Austen, she wrote some very serious literary, I guess, romance, but very regal stuff, and it was nothing funny about it at all. But for the most part, when I read British writers, I'm just very, very taken by how funny they are, even when they're not trying to be, it seems. So, anyways, I love this so much that I decided to listen to one of his books on tape. I listened to Coraline because I had watched the movie. Now, if you haven't seen the book, read the book, the movie was dead on. I really, after reading the book, I was like, wow, they did a wonderful job on the movie, because it was pretty accurate. So I'll be leaving a review for that one pretty soon. But that's how much I love this book. I was like, I want to see what else this guy can do. So this will not be the last book I read by him. It's about a guy named Richard Mayhew. And he's got a pretty good life, He's engaged to this really beautiful woman. He's got a pretty good job. He lives in London. He's got it pretty made. Nothing too crazy going on, though. But then one day he stumbles upon this young girl in trouble. And he decides that he's going to give her some help. And it turns out that she's a member of the underworld, the London underworld. And he doesn't realize at the time, but he's part of London Upworld. And people in London Upworld don't realize who London Below is. But people in London Below are definitely aware of the London above. So he gets stuck in this gritty world because all he did was help her. He gave her a place to stay, and allowed her to use his shower and everything else. And then some rough dudes came to his apartment looking for her, and he's like, she's known by that name here. And then they go to find her in the bathroom when she was hiding, and she wasn't in there anymore. So when they left, Richard Mayhew was like he goes back to check in the bathroom because there's no way she could have gotten out. There's no windows in there or anything, and she's there. So that's where things start clicking, that there's something not right about this girl. She explains to him that she just opened the door, and then explained why her name is Doors. At first he was very confused. Oh, okay, what's that short for? It's like, short for nothing. My name's Door. And he's like, oh, okay, well, what is it? How do you spell D-O-U-R, like dower? She's like, no, Doors, and open the door. So you get to find out why she's called Doors, because she is very gifted at opening any door, which comes in extremely handy later on in the book. So now poor Richard, this girl takes off, and she's like very grateful for him, and these two bad guys that were looking for her find out that he deceived them, and now there's some real bad people. It's hilarious how Neil Gaiman does it, because there's some really bad people, but the dialogue, just the way that these two gentlemen talk, I couldn't help but like them. Like, I mean, even if they're after me, I might even enjoy listening to them banter with me a little bit. They were so funny. So yeah, Mr. Coop and Mr. Vanderbilt or Vandemar. Mr. Vandemar is my favorite of those two bad guys, though, because he was kind of dim-witted, and everything he said was just kind of logical. Like, he couldn't lie, and that made him very funny, but it also made him frightening at the same time. And even at the very end, when he was getting his just desserts, he ended up saying goodbye to Dor and Richard. He was just kind of a polite bad guy. It was very interesting. But again, that's part of the British humor that I was talking about earlier in this video. And I don't know what else to say about this video. It's pretty much just Richard. He just wants to get back home, but the whole time he can't get back home because it's like, you're stuck here now. It's just the way it is. But they run into an angel, and if him and Dor can perform these certain, just if they can complete their little mission for the angel, him or her, they don't know, it's androgynous, then it might be able to help them both. So it's pretty much his struggle to get home, and it's also Dor's struggle to find out what happened to her family. And it was just a wonderful book. I mean, I can't say enough good things about it. So keep your eye out for it. After reading the last book I did by him, Coraline, I'll be doing a review for that one pretty soon. I can pretty much just guess that he's a wonderful writer. I'm not going to try to dive into too much of his books, because I can. When I first realized I love a writer, I go silly and read everything they got. But I think I'm going to space him out a little bit, because I don't want to read through his entire catalog too soon, because then I'll just be yearning for more, and I'll be impatient with him and sending him angry fan mail letters, going, hey, hurry up and finish your next book. But we don't need that. So I'm going to take my time with him. Anyways, gang, my novella, Echoes of Yesterday, is available in Love Askew. It's available for 99 cents for pre-order right now. It actually comes out next week on the 19th of January 2021, and then they're going to bang the price up. They haven't decided what they're going to jump the price up to, but if you pre-order it right now, it's only 99 cents. Also, keep an eye out for my debut novel, Corpse Lily, coming out hopefully this year. It's been about 3 years, so we'll see, but hopefully this year. Alright guys, you could have tuned into any book review channel on the internet. For some reason you tuned into mine. I love the hell out of you for it. Click like, comment below. Don't forget to subscribe.